So we left Venice Beach. We let's get a little better view here. No, that's better. Even though from all angles it really doesn't help me any. But we left Venice Beach, but we did go on the boardwalk for a while. If anybody has time or is out in Cali, I suggest going there. It's interesting, to say the least. There's a lot of different types of people out there. Interesting shops. Some very skilled artists. I mean, if I could take some of the art home, and I'm not an art guy, but just some of the stuff these people could put together, I would have taken it home. I just don't want to get it destroyed on the plane. So we're heading to LA now. We're actually passing through Beverly Hills as we speak. Let me just raise this a little bit. We were trying to cut up 405, but of course, anybody who knows LA traffic, even though we don't, but it's our first. Yeah, it sucks. John's driving this time. He's taking the. He's taking some responsibility. I already did over 2 hours of driving today.
Taking some responsibility.
Yes, it's about time he grows up and drives, and he's a big boy.
We put my booster seat in the trunk.
Yeah. He's lying. He's actually sitting on a phone book, and he's got little boxes on his feet so he can hit the pedals.
Double phone book.
But we're driving through Beverly Hills right now. We decided to take the scenic route off of Santa Monica Boulevard, and then about 5 miles or so we're going to make a left on something. I forget what it is now, North Highland or something like that. And eventually we're probably going to go see the Chinese theater and a couple different things. Take our time, because we don't have to be back till whenever we feel like being back. And but today's been overall a good day. It's been pretty cool. Got to see a lot of different things. That's it. Alright guys, talk to you later. Hey guys, Robinson DUP, still video logging while we're driving to Los Angeles. It almost feels like we're traveling back to Jersey via car.
Honestly.
Yeah, a little bit.
With all this traffic.
With all the traffic and between being on the plane and everything else. I don't know if I really want to drive or fly for a while.
I don't even know where I am.
We know we're driving in the vicinity of Los Angeles. We keep heading in that direction, but it's taking longer and longer to get there.
We're actually in the Beverly Hills right now.
Yeah, we're in Beverly Hills right now. But John and I were actually sitting down this morning at breakfast, and we were talking about some things regarding nutrition and whatnot. So figured now would be a good time to talk about some stuff. So there was a couple sitting across the table, and they were overhearing some of the things we were talking about in terms of nutrition and bad coaching in the fitness industry and whatnot. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was, you know, when people hear the word diet, they think of I'm starving myself, I'm always going to be hungry, I can't have a cookie or a piece of cake or a piece of pizza or anything like that. When we're talking about diet, let me try to fix this, dear Lord. It's bad shoulder, bad camera, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm just all jacked
Just
up.
bad.
Just bad. There's nothing going right for me on this trip.
Baddie.
Except for the fact that we got to work out at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach. But when we talk about diet, what we're actually talking about is nutrition. So in nutrition, it just means how many calories you're consuming during the day and what those calories consist of when you're hearing about, you know, macros. So, you know, your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. And then, you know, when people start to get involved in these plans like Nutrisystem or Weight Watchers or anything like that, I think the problem, I don't know if it's the problem with these programs or it's the problem with the people who are on them not learning, or I wouldn't go that way because all you can go is right. Oh, yeah. Are we supposed to be going right?
I'm going to make a pit stop.
Oh, okay. John's going to make a pit stop.
I have to pee.
That's what happens when you start losing a lot of body fat. You have to pee constantly. All right, sorry, got sidetracked. What was I saying? Nutrition, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, nutrition. And the programs. We're on the programs piece. So like I was saying, I don't know if it's the program's fault or if the people who's on it, it's their fault. But I really think it's the program plus the person really not taking the time to educate themselves in terms of proper nutrition. When people contact like either myself or my wife or John or, you know, some of our teammates and whatnot, first thing they kind of ask is like, oh, can you write me a meal plan? And our first response is no. Here's the reason why. I don't want to tell you what to eat. I want you to learn how to eat. You know that saying about teaching somebody how to fish, they'll be able to feed themselves for a lifetime? That's kind of the concept. When you're dealing with a prep coach, I don't really know any of them. They're going to say eat, well, some will, but they're usually bad. You know, eat only 6 ounces of chicken, you know, this much of brown rice and blah, blah, blah per meal and this and that and something else. They usually don't lay it out that way. if they write a meal plan, what it'll consist of is what the macro breakdown is in each meal. Would you say that's correct, John?
Yeah, I would agree. The only thing I'd like to add to that is that only really a registered dietitian should be writing out specific foods that you should be eating. The purpose of having a prep coach or just someone that's helping you with your macros is to basically give you numbers that you're supposed to hit to guide you for your goals. And that's really what their job is. Their job is not to tell you specifically how much food you're supposed to be eating from a specific food group and when. That's more of a registered dietitian, and that requires definitely somebody with an advanced degree. And actually you can get in a lot of trouble if you're writing specific meal plans for people. So what I generally do is I generally recommend that people hit specific numbers. You probably need to stop the video real quick while I talk to this dude.
All right, everybody, we're back. We had to make a short pit stop and almost knocked out the parking validation guy. He failed to mention the fact that within the 20 minutes you needed to get the little ticket stub signed. So John had to go back in and then get it signed, and then we could leave. So it ended up turning out to be like a 15-minute stop instead of a minute and a half because the parking attendant's a douchebag. But we were talking about nutrition and the plans, and John was in the process of talking about the ability to write plans and what we can and can't do. So John's going to resume.
Hey guys, just to resume where I left off, only a registered dietitian should be writing out specific food plans. They're the only ones qualified. They're the only ones who can actually write that out legally for you and do that in most states. I won't say all because I'm not really familiar. I do believe there are some states where people can kind of write out specific meal plans. For the most part, your trainer, your coach, should be telling you how much you should be taking in, and then it's up to you as the client to figure out what foods you want to eat and how it's going to work to fit your plan. Again, their plan is numbers so that it hits a specific goal. Now, with that being said, everything's going to be different. You like chicken, you like turkey, you like beefs, whatever it is, you can fit those foods in to hit specific numbers. So just be really weary if your coach is actually writing out a specific meal plan. That should be a red flag that something is awry and something is not right. The second thing you need to be aware of is if your coach has written into your plan a specific supplement, a specific brand, and that you cannot deviate from that brand because
it's the only one that works.
I was going to say hellfire and brimstone will occur on Earth if you, God forbid, have another brand. Then that's another red flag. There's a lot of these fitness challenges and plans out there that preach using specific products, and that's not new. That's been around for the past 30, 40 years. But it's marketing. It's what it is. It's a business, and people are trying to sell products. So just be weary of that if you start to see, if you're working with a coach and they tell you what to eat, specific foods, and they say you must take this product because if you don't, you'll wither away, you'll die, you lose all your muscle, and
or you won't get any results.
Right, and you won't be cool either. So be really weary of that. Another thing you want to be weary about is if your coach has 1,500 people that they're working with, and they tell you, or the person you're interviewing tells you they can write an individualized program. Yeah. How's that working? You got 1,500 people, 500, 300, whatever it is. There's just no way. I'm a coach. I work full-time. That's unrelated to the fitness industry. And I coach people for fun because I enjoy it, because it's my passion. You know the most people that I can coach? 30 at the most. At the most. And even then I'm stretching myself. And I actually turn people away because I want to produce quality. So if your coach says to you, oh yeah, I'm working with 300-400 people, and they're not doing this full time, yeah, you're not going to get individualized attention. A good example is if you email your coach and they don't get back to you in a certain period of time when you're interviewing them to kind of see if they're going to work out for you, that's also a sign that there's something awry, because they really should be getting back to you pretty quickly. Now, there are situations where people are away. Like I notified everybody on my team that I'm going to be in California with Greg, and to please hold all non-emergency questions until I come back. So I let people know, and I told people that almost a month ago. So it's, they knew I got programs out before I left. They answered all questions. I've had one or two while I've been here because they've been important. So, but if you're emailing someone, they should get back to you pretty quickly. If you're texting them, Facebook, they should get back quickly. And if they don't, you probably need to find someone else. Unless you're an expert and a pro, and then, even then, you really need someone who's going to be on top of their game and getting back to you, because in this industry, in what we do and the people that we work with, you really need to have a fast response time. So those are just some takeaways, some things to be thinking about. Greg and I were having this conversation this morning, and part of nutrition and fitness becoming a lifestyle means it has to be ingrained in what you do. And these challenges that write specific meals and tell you to take specific supplements take away the fact that this has to carry over into the rest of your life. That's my beef with them, and I'm going to leave it at that. My rant is over.
Okay, good. But just to get back to what we were talking about in nutrition, you don't want to deal with anybody in the fitness industry, whether it's just somebody who's fit in the gym or whether it's a coach or a personal trainer, who's necessarily going to write, just eat, chicken in this amount, broccoli in that amount, blah, 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 blah. You really want, if you're interested in getting gains and results and really living the lifestyle and achieving whatever it is you want in the fitness world, whether it's becoming a bodybuilder, figure competitor, bikini competitor, whether you just want to drop a couple pounds and learn how to eat healthier and live a healthier lifestyle, you need to educate yourself in terms of how to eat, not so much on what to eat. These stupid books that are coming out, they're saying eat this, not that. Some of these talking heads on TV and radio that are telling you have this, not that. It gets people too honed in on, I'm eating a donut, it's going to ruin my whole diet. That's it. I'm going to gain 5 pounds back because I had a donut once this month, or once this week, or, should I be eating the sweet potato versus the brown rice? Which one's better? All that kind of stuff. Which carb source is the most optimal carb source? What protein source is the most optimal protein source? Go ahead.
Can I rant on that? Okay. So I have acquired people that I coach now who come to me, and previously their coach was saying, oh no, you can only eat sweet potato because it's the optimal carb source. And I'm like, really? Do you understand how glucose works and how polysaccharides work? Like, have you had any basis in, nutritional science? Have you read any, biochemistry books? I mean, it's not that hard. And two, on top of that, if you avoid certain foods and you start feeling guilty when you have them, you're setting yourself up for an eating disorder.
Or just a very unhealthy relationship with food.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how many people I have coached who come to me and, came from other coaches and are saying, hey, look, Beverly Hills sign, quick detour. Look, Beverly Hills sign.
There it is.
Back to Jay Garifano. So, I spoke in third person. That's awesome.
He's getting a little full of himself, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm taking it from you, Robinson. So I've acquired these people who come from coaches who, tell them that they can't have any of these, non-clean carb sources. And what ends up happening is if they go and have a little bit, they end up gorging and binging. That's an eating disorder. Feeling unhealthy about food, eating disorder. Over-exercising because you had, a slice of pizza, eating disorder. What's more long-lasting and can fit into a lifestyle is fitting food within your macronutrient plan. Understanding that energy balance is the most important thing above nutrient timing, above, food selection, energy balance, and overall daily energy intake is the most important thing that you need to follow. The other things are important, but that's the most important. Okay, rant over.
So, like we were saying, just to sum it up real quick, don't develop an unhealthy relationship with food. Stop focusing on, only clean foods versus dirty. I hate that. I don't know what defines a clean food, or that bro food. And listen, there's nothing wrong with eating bro. You will get great results eating bro. I'm not saying, you shouldn't, you have to sit there and have flexible dieting. Some people like eating that strict and they can and they're fine with it and that's good for them. But for those of you who are looking for a little bit more flexibility, understand that you can have, you know, your donuts and your junk food and some of that stuff, as long as you're responsible, keep it within moderation, understanding how it responds in your body, understanding what you're doing every day. You shouldn't have any issues. And then that way, you know, you can always still achieve the results. You can still have, you know, eat a normal diet and not starve yourself to lose weight and maintain the body weight that you're happy with. You know, certain people are always going to have a more difficult time than others. That's just based on your metabolism and somewhat with your genetics. But, you know, just be careful, be smart. Don't listen to these talking heads all the time, and be careful of anybody who's telling you can't have this at all, because this is going to set you up to fail, and then you're going to get frustrated and quit. So that's it for now. There'll be more of these conversations as we go along.